This is part one of two short videos made to introduce the kindergarten MAISA first unit for writing, which is actually the oral language unit for the Michigan Association of Intermediate School Administrators, MAISA writing units. So to get to this resource, there are three words to Google: Oakland, Atlas, and Rubicon, or MAISA Atlas Rubicon. When we've searched those pieces, the first link after the advertisements is the Atlas Rubicon site. And at any time, feel free to fast forward through a portion if you already know how to navigate these sites, or pause if you need to look at your own resources. So to get to your grade and your unit, you will choose two items here in the browse. The first is the by school choice, and you'll select Common Core. And then for by grade, your grade, and then browse. Those two selections are enough to minimize our options. We then have math, reading, and writing. The oral language unit is here in the writing. Okay, so for kindergarten, we build a talking community before we begin conventional writing instruction with these Michigan units. So we are going to, again, this is part one of two quick videos to introduce this first unit. We're going to click on it knowing that this curricular plan is one option of utilizing these resources. Teachers will need to work collaboratively with teachers at their grade level in their district and decide their own pacing and how these resources might work with other resources you already use. So right now my job is to go over this unit so that you understand the backwards design behind its creation, the standards of focus, and how to think through this unit as a big picture. And then part two will be looking at the actual lessons of the unit and the resources, and a kindergarten teacher, will be talking about that part. So right now, when we think about building a talking community with our kindergartners at the beginning of the year, there are a couple ways we can think through what this unit might provide. If you are more of a visual learner, graphic organizer is provided for you. There's also a unit abstract, which gives more detail about the background of this unit. And I'm going to just quickly let you know that to read through the essential understandings of this graphic organizer, really we just fill in some of the gaps and read this like a paragraph. So we say that this unit is about oral language and using talk to focus, rehearse, and share stories. We do that, and then we read through each of these sentences. We do that by developing effective talk within a community of writers. We do that with our young writers by generating to think about and choose meaningful experiences. We again use this talk to focus by using talk to convey a meaningful experience. And we teach our kindergartners by planning and revising through prompting to orally clarify and rethink stories to make them more meaningful. So that is the way to think about the unit as a whole. I'm going to give you a moment right now for you to pause this video and read through this unit abstract and get a big picture view of what this unit was created to do. Okay. So knowing that this unit is not a typical writing workshop unit, this please note is important for us to keep in mind, specifically for this unique unit. The next piece in this resource is the listing of the Common Core State Standards for kindergarten that are addressed through this work, specifically through this unit. So each of these MAISA units has that unit of studies standards referenced. Now, universal design for learning is defined here on the right side of this page, and this would be an important overview piece for you to take a moment and read. More information is provided at this link. So unit writers, in collaboration with teachers and pilot and review groups, are really creating these units from a lot of professional research that we understand now about curriculum design, embedding aspects like universal design for learning, embedding the idea of a backwards planning model. And so we think about essential focus questions first. Again, these are the same elements that were in the graphic organizer in the beginning, written in the form of questions, again, that were created to think about the kind of instruction needed to proceed through a unit of study with kindergartners around these topics. So we have key concepts, some that we share with students and use as vocabulary, and some that are background for us at this point. Assessment tasks are listed, and in subsequent lessons, kindergarten, first and second, there are links to a formative assessment overview packet and a writing assessment packet that are very teacher friendly, very useful formative assessment resources, and more about that in part 2. We know that there are intellectual processes that are going to be essential for our kindergartners as we think about this unit. The lesson sequence is next listed, and this gives you an at-a-glance view of the teaching points of this unit. And each of these teaching points are actually clear learning targets for the students. You then have 2 links always, and one is the resources for the unit, and 2 is the actual lessons of the unit with other resources included, like tips and ideas for mentor texts and professional resources. So part 2 of this video is next, and that includes time with a real kindergarten teacher talking about implementation of this type of unit. Thank you.